don't know, it's something about these Timbs that I got from the Timberland store. They're just way more sturdy than my other Timbs. Like my other Timbs,
Ain't it?
Finished.
Ferg,
Yeah.
welcome back to Compound.
Compound BK.
Compound BK, different.
It's different. It's a different. This is different.
Different energy.
It's like by the water.
By the water. By
It's
the
like the Statue of Liberty.
The chicks in the middle of the water.
It's like Range Rovers in the gallery downstairs.
It's
like
Ferg birthday parties in the gallery downstairs.
Like the first event in the gallery downstairs ever.
It's been some things.
You're getting a lot of money. It's like Listerine sponsored events in galleries with like the smell of the mint in the air and all of that.
You're selling a lot of art, but we're not gonna go into this. We're not gonna go into this. But one of the questions I always start with is because to the people that have been to the original Compound in the Bronx, and you've been there since day one. I mean, you was recording a lot of music right next door. What do you, when you see the transition, what do you feel and what do you think?
First of all, I knew you for years, and then you popped up with a gallery and an office across the street from the gallery. For me to see the white walls with the art and the color, big windows in the Bronx, I was like, oh, he's on to something different. Like, you was eons ahead of all of everybody. And that's when I knew that, oh, you a true leader. Like, I was like, yeah, he got something going on.
Wow, I'm speechless. And now that you're here at Compound BK, how do you look at the transition of seeing, because you've seen the BX gallery, you recorded in the BX Compound, and you came here and recorded in the Brooklyn Compound with 10,000 people from Ghana in a session. But like, when you see that transition, how does it sit with you?
Man, I'm just happy to know you. I'm happy to be on your side. I'm glad that like you're on the same team. Like, cause it's like, man, if I didn't know you, I'd be like, damn. Like, I wouldn't want you to be an op. I'd be like, damn, like he's a true Jedi for real. Like you thinking beyond your time, and you just breathe it. So it's like, it's not even a thing to you. Like, I don't think that you're like forcefully promoting yourself, or it's just not weird. But what it does for me as a supporter and a friend and family is I want to push the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a beautiful thing. Like, the space is way bigger. The gallery space, the high ceilings, the skylight, the DJ booth, all the equipment that you got in there with the music bar, the projections, like, it's nuts. The special rugs you got hanging on the wall and on the floor, and all of this stuff imported from Japan, wood that's burnt from Japan and brought here and stylized. Like, it's just nuts.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm humbled and I'm honored, man.
Yeah, man. And you have like your own eclectic style. Like, this is like a little bit of Japan, a lot of soul, hip hop, basketball, art. It's a very niche thing. Like, you have things you like, and you can see all your nuances together within your world and how you built that. You built out your own world with the Compound.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Ferg, to me, the name Ferg and the word Ferg is that too, though. But we'll get into that.
Wait, with the name Ferg and
it's a word in our culture that means a lot to me. Opinion only. But I don't look at Ferg as a music. And diving in already to this conversation, Compound Conversations is having talks with friends, family, humans that discuss the journey, because your journey to me is one of the most incredible artist journeys of my time. And I don't mean that musically. I mean that, from the fashion to the paintings, to the drawings, to the music, to the styling of how you are, to the family. There's an artistic way of how people even react with family. Art to me has been the center of everything you do, watching you through the years, from like the Yams chain to the grills in other people's mouths. Like I see people wearing grills that you designed, from the hair color to the belts to, just fashion and even it seems like art from Unc and everybody. It's art connected to even through your family. So I want to go through the Ferg journey from an artistic standpoint and how art touched everything.
Let's do it.
So starting, I think everybody who knows Ferg, it's Harlem first. But let's start. What was the household of Ferg? Like, it was you, any brothers, sisters. Let's just start from the beginning.
Well, in the beginning, it wasn't any brothers or sisters. I have an aunt my age, and it was just her. She was like my sister, growing up, Tiffany, and like for my mother part of the family, it was really like a bunch of them just doing the 9 to 5s and working, and comes from a middle class home where it was like they was working and working hard. My mother was going to school, had a job, but my father part of the family, when I'll go to like my grandma's house, Kim Ferg house, it was more of the artistic, creative, expressive side, and more entrepreneurial in that way, where my father had his own businesses and pushed his own craft. My grandmother did African dance and taught at Minnesink, and also my aunt Kim, she did the same thing. So, real good. I've learned from both sides. I've learned like to tap into the creative on my father's side, and I learned to work hard on my mom's side.
So, of course, Harlem, growing up, 90s, and I mean, music played a big part. Like now we hear that grandma had dance, dad had art, and like what was the realms of music for young Ferg, like hearing, because you're hearing African music from the dance side, you're probably hearing, of course, hip hop, but like what was that soundtrack of music of you growing up?
So on my grandfather's side, Trinidadian, I'm hearing Calypso and Trinidadian music that he would play around the house, like during the holidays or whenever he's cooking, because he used to be a chef when he was a part of the Navy. So like he was always like chefing up stuff and like playing his Calypso music. And then on my father's side, it was more hip hop, R&B with my mom. Like they had like this table. It was a glass table, and it was dope because it was like CDs that covered the whole square of the glass table. And I remember seeing like their Biggie Ready to Die album cover in the middle, the baby with the afro. And I always wondered who that was, not knowing that's like who my father was playing in the car. He was playing Mary J. Blige 411, Jodeci 112, Craig Mack, a whole bunch of bad boy people. A lot of East Coast rap and R&B music, a lot of R&B. Same with my mom, like always had Mary J. Blige playing in the house and stuff like that. And then when it came down to like going to my grandmother's like dance practice or like her classes, she had like the live drums. It was like always live drums. Like in her crib, you're gonna see pictures of Marcus Garvey, like, the kente cloth and the mud cloth over the couch. She got like a bunch of books. So it was like more conscious and just more spiritual, if you may.
Spiritual realm for you.
Yeah.
So, because it's like now, just hearing this little bit of it, I'm seeing all the influences of what made you who you are today.
Yeah.
So now, father was an artist. The stories has been out there that he drew the Bad Boy logo and
Uptown Cats logo too.
Uptown, of course, that logo. When you were young, do you remember seeing the art side of your father with the drawings and all that stuff?
Oh, super. Like, this conversation is so good because we never talked about this.
Totally.
In real life.
In real life.
We talk all the time. But, I remember, like, being in my father's print shop on 125th in Lexington. No, on First Avenue. He had a print shop. He had, like, a whole loft. It was similar to this. And, he had, like, a bunch of screens with, like, logos and just transparency papers with drawings and logos, and you know, I remember seeing a Bad Boy logo on the screen, and you know, it being like plastisol paint on it and stuff like that. But I just remember looking at that specific logo,
Like this the one.
yeah, like because I understood it. I understood what it was. It was simple,
It was the CD in the table. Kind of.
right? But I didn't put that together in my mind. But it was simple enough for me to get it as a child. Like I said, Bad and Boy, and it had a baby with a hat and Tim's. So I was like, I got a pair of Tim's at home. I know what that is.
You resonate.
I got a cap. That's a pamper the baby got on, and he looked like he being bad, and like so. I got it, and all of the other stuff was cool, but like that one stood out.
Stood out to you. So for me, right, it happened at 7 years old. You know, my dad took me to see Star Wars in the movie theater. And I came home, broke the broomstick, was like, vroom, vroom, started taking the toys, making like little worlds and stuff like.
Right.
And for you, you had this this gumbo soup of music, culture, art, and just floating around you from grandma to dads to mom. Was it ever a moment being young, like, I know I'm different. I know if this is what I come from, I'm gonna be on the path. Because like I said, the music was there for you. The art was there for you.
Yeah.
You had Trinidadian, you had Calypso, you had so much.
Right.
Most people don't have this much cultural influence, music, art, fashion, but was it at a young age that you knew like, wow, I have a lot, I'm gonna be different, or I'm taking all this and I wanna do something?
I didn't know I was different, even with all of that stuff. I just thought like I was no different from anybody else. I knew I was different. I think it was like probably the end of junior high school, early beginning of high school. I think it was like in junior high school. I used to watch a lot of runway shows on TV. And I used to watch that and X Games and videos, and that's it.
Wow.
Like I used to watch like Travis Pastrana, like doing a dirt bike, the
flips,
dirt ramp
yeah.
jumps and all of that with the motorcycles. Watch Dave Mirra, like super Dave Mirra fan. And I used to be like a BMX kid, just
Yeah,
riding bikes
I was
in the
Matt
streets.
Hoffman all day.
Man, like I like EJ, rest in peace. That was like my hero.
Wow.
In Harlem, like he used to have a fender on the back of his
Like
on the back of his bike, on the back wheel, like coming off the seat pole, and his tap game was so crazy with the bike. He used to wheelie, and his fender used to drag on the floor. Like that mean like
He's the 12 o'clock.
we used to call it
almost.
like y'all call it 12 o'clock, we call it 6 o'clock. Yeah. So it's like straight like this, boom. But he almost had to be like this.
He was
for
almost
that fender to touch.
He was
the
like,
back.
what, a 1 o'clock then almost?
Yeah, like a 1 o'clock.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now you right. That was a 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like straight
Straight
up.
up.
Like
But you
this.
say he a 1.
But his shit was like this.
Yeah, he like a 115.
For him to
Yeah,
like,
and the fender was making that.
yeah.
See, it's funny because I used to put up on the back fender, and I put the 25-cent hug between the bike, the tire, and the fender just to make that.
Oh yeah, like a motorcycle sound.
But
We
he
do
was
that, too.
doing it. He was getting the sound from literally
From
being
his fender, yeah, and his brakes. He the first one to put me up on V brakes. Like I like, yeah, man. Rest in peace, EJ. And yeah. So that was normal. Like we was like the young Rough Riders.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
bike version.
Yeah, like the bike version. But like we was really Rough Riders though. Like we was like a part of it.
Oh,
like it was
wow.
like a sector.
Shouts out to DNY.
Like, it was like codes and shit. Like
That's
really
fire.
Rough Rider. Like so. But then I like got this other side where it's like fashion, and then it's like rapping, like battle rapping and all of that. But I didn't. I just thought that everybody was into this shit. But then when I realized one of my homies, A Butter, he came to my crib one time, like had a sleepover, and I was like, yo, we gonna watch these like I had it all planned out, like we gonna watch the fashion shows, we gonna watch the X Games. Butter was looking at that shit like this. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm different. That's when I knew I was different.
Nah, it's kind of the same.
I was like, oh, this nigga not really
He's
into
not
this,
into this
like me.
fashion shoes.
Yeah, like I'm like geeking. Like I'm looking at the runway show like somebody would look at a basketball game or like a.
And Butter was like, you bug.
Like, yeah, he didn't even say I was bugging because he knew he know me, so he like know that like, oh yeah, Ferg that's him. But I thought everybody was into that shit. Like I didn't think I was doing anything different.
I mean, fashion shows, X Games, and hip hop was a different trinity back then, bro.
Yeah, and then art, like doing art, like I'm drawing and painting on clothes and shit.
Nah, and you was way ahead of your time, put it like that.
But also too, I didn't think it was different because I guess I got my cup filled from people that was doing it already. So it's like my father, he the one who taught me how to paint on clothes. Exactly. So boom, he was like the OG me, the original version of me.
Okay.
So it's like I learned so much from him.
Yeah.
But then it's like I picked up other shit on the street, like riding bikes, and like I had my crew for that. And then like I hang out with another crew that's like, like my nigga Moses, he like, yo, they got the starter caps, vintage joints, not coming out. 2/5, we going there after class. Then we go to like 181st Flea Market, get the motherfucking Phil Boot Timbs, the pink and the black leather joints, and the Air Max 95s and we like, yo, we gonna go to Polygon, we gonna get the warm-up suits,
to
matching joints. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get the Laker joint all white. I'm gonna get the Pistons, red, white, and blue, all white. I'm wearing my mom's earrings to school. Big boogers like Cam. Like, bruh, like it was nuts. Different. Like people used to come to my class just to see what I had on. Like crazy. Getting Gucci print on my Jordan 9s. Ooh. Like I still ain't see nobody. They just did a Jordan collab.
With Gucci?
Yeah, Dior.
Oh, Dior did it.
You remember the
Dior ones, yeah.
We was doing that in high school.
In junior high. Wow.
Junior high school. We would go get the Gucci. Well, I don't know where they was getting the Gucci print, but we would take our Jordans. This is when everybody was putting the Gucci on their check. Okay. And my father was doing that before I seen anybody do that. Like, I didn't even know what Louis Vuitton was. That was my introduction when I came in the house and I had an all-black pair of ears and the check was yellow, the same color as your sneakers, with the Louis Vuitton logo painted on the check. He painted it for me. So yellow and black, Louis Vuitton checks. And I was like, what's this? He was like, you don't know what this is? Like, this is, that's how he always hit me. Like, you don't know what this is? You don't know who this is? And I'm like, nah. He was like, this is Louis Vuitton. This is like a big luxury brand.
You like, nah, never heard of it.
And then he was like, yeah, this is like, yeah. And then I started seeing it everywhere after that.
So when did the switch go off from like, okay, I want to design my own? Like, because you were designing your own for you and go to school and be fly, but like, the belts started. Was that the first before clothing for you, or was it all started together?
No, the first form of a line that I had was called Illegal, and that was my rap name. That was my first rap name ever.
Wow!
So it was like illegal, like eagle, and
like then, ill is legal.
Yeah, like but not ill like legal, but it was just like I just like the ill part, like this nigga ill, like, but I was like, yo, I could do a brand that's called Illegal and have like the characters doing illegal things, like little rat, like badass kids like pissing on shit or like whatever, like just doing crazy shit, and or like a wanted clown or something like that.
Gotcha.
Like I would paint those things, and that was like my first form of a brand. And concept, but what I was doing really was just like getting like people to bring their shirts to school, give me like $30 to like $100 to paint something on their shirt. I wasn't getting $100 at first, like I had to work my way up to that.
100.
Like,
but this junior high, right?
This is junior high school, and then before my father passed away, I remember like looking up names in a dictionary. I was just looking at mad names for a clothing line because I was kind of growing out of the name.
Yeah, illegal.
because I'm like, yo, I want it to be more worldwide.
Okay.
And I came across this name called Devonian, which is the time and era of evolution. It's like when one cell creatures walk the earth, one cell like creatures and fish had legs and shit like that. And it all stemmed from this place in Devon, England, where they have red rocks. And they say like all specimens of things come from that. So I was just like, this sounds dope, because I'm like, the evolution of fashion and style.
Yep.
So I told my father this on the phone. This was the last conversation we had together. So I told him, and he was like, yo, that's dope, D. That's dope. And he said, what I would do is I'll just chop it and make it say Devaney instead of Devonian, so it's easier for everybody to say it. I'm like, that's fire. And then another thing he told me is, like, yo, you can make anybody's money yours as long as you figure out a way to get it. Like, meaning, like, you know, when it comes down to, you know, me selling a product or how I market or whatever the case may be, if I know that you got the bread, you just got to figure out a way to get it. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing he told me that same night on that conversation was, don't be afraid to charge what I feel like my stuff is worth. Because I remember telling him, like, yo, I'm at this place where it's like, I want to charge more. Like, I want to charge like 100 and something. I want to charge like 150, da-da-da-da. He was like, yo, don't be afraid to charge like what you feel like your stuff is worth.
Wow. You got a lot of jewels, man.
Yeah. So that was one, that was one of the last conversations we had about the name. But I remember my father, before we even, that was one of the conversations, but he had printed me up some T-shirts before. I remember he printed me up some shirts, like I was trying to start a brand, and I was mad because it wasn't like my style, like what I would have did. And what I didn't realize was, that's when I learned about communication. Cause like I was he brought boxes of that shit. And like, I guess like I was just being like a brat. And I was just like, man, I ain't liking these. Like, I was kind of showing it. He was like, you could go and do it yourself. He was like, do it yourself. And then that's when I knew, like, boom, I could do it myself, or I could have communicated to him what I wanted on the shirt and all of that stuff. Cause I mean, I ain't know like what was going on. I didn't even know the process really. And then that's when I started diving more into the technicalities of silk screening, embroidery, heat transfer, all of the different techniques.
You touched on, you know, the ASAP mob, right? And like, one of the things I think the world was always saying, like, yo, that's the Wu-Tang, the next Wu-Tang. And for me, I was sitting back like, nah, this, from a musical reference, you look at a lot of people, yeah, but I was just like, these kids are different. First of all, you know, Diplomats was 3 people. Y'all was, I think, 7 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I think we didn't know how many it was of us for real. Because it was like, you got to think about it from, it was like the music guys and it's just like the homies.
Yeah, fashion,
so like,
bikes, designers, and then in
drug dealers, like all types of shit. Like,
and rest in peace to Yams, because the Professor X of the everything. And so for me, when I watched it, it was like, there was so many brands inside of that is people, MCs, fashion, and the artistic, you know, even for you, like, you know, I always look at you as, you're like a superhero with names. You know, the Hood Pope, Trap Lord, Ferg, ASAP Ferg.
All my aliases.
All the aliases. Like, when you think about that period of your life with the mob and from the music, but it seemed like it was always an artistic aspect to everything y'all did. From, you know, from Yams to Lamborghini, to Yamborghini. It's like, how special was that art realm of being in the music, fashion, and all that connected with the ASAP mob run?
It was dope because it was like, it was a universe of us with our own planets. So Rocky's a planet, NASA's a planet, 12 is a planet, Addie's a planet. Everybody's their own planet. I'm my own planet, and we just existed in our own planet, in our own worlds, but we all came together to create this universe and experience. Yams was his own planet, but it's like Yams had this way of working with us, where it's like it was like zero pressure. It was just like he allowed us to do what we do, but in some sort of way he was just like planning shit, and it was just like flowing in a creative direction he would have thought, or like either I wasn't privy to some conversations because him and Rocky, they had ASAP Worldwide, so I'm pretty sure they had other stuff to talk about and handle, but when it came down to like creative control, me and Yams we'd be laughing on the phone all day. Like, it's like, how are we getting any work done? But I don't know, we just had like this super magical way of working with each other where what I'm basically saying, it didn't feel like work.
It just felt like you were doing
it just felt
creative.
like breathing.
Wow,
For
absolutely.
real. And then I didn't know how it was working. It just worked. It was like, literally we was just tuned into the same frequency, all of us, like, and it just worked.
Wow. How much, because seeing your journey, right, from like the table, the R&B, the Calypso, grandma African dance, and then all the cultures, and then you being an artist in this ASAP Mob world, a solo artist, but, from all of y'all had your own fashion, how much did you get to take all of that journey and place it in the world of the ASAP Worldwide, and it just meshed so perfectly?
I just always looked at all of the aspects of being an artist and a brand. I mean, I come from brand first. Well, I come from artist first, and then
Do you come from artist first or art first? Because
artists like visual, painting, creating, all of that. Like artists, whether rapping, artists, whether painting, fashion. I'm just an artist. Like I just want to make shit. So me having that understanding, my father then taught me how to make money off of it. But the way you make money off of it is like you have a reputable brand. People came to my father's store because he was reputable, he was respectful, he did things for the community, he's him. So that's when I started associating art with the brand. And then with that knowledge and then working a little bit, having 9-to-5s, that kind of like taught me, you got to show up on time and do this and do that. So by the time I became a rapper, like officially, I was ready, and I was understanding that, like, all right, I know how to make merch because I got the machines, and I did that with my dad. I also know how to show up on time. I also know things that I learned in school, like about color theory and just how things, all of that stuff, like some type of way, I'm not even thinking about this stuff for real, but like, when it comes to me, I am thinking about it, but it ain't like a thing that like, I'm just kind of whatever. I kind of like stumble across something and be like, yo, I need money. Like I'm supporting on this Drake tour, but I'm only getting a per diem. So I'm taking the per diem money. I'm getting like $30 for like lunch every day. And I'm taking that and I'll save like $200, send it to my girl back home. Yo, I got the machines still, silkscreen machines. Have my young boy in the hood who up to no good anyway. We trying to get him to stop doing what he doing. He gonna help you pick up these shirts from 28th Street, print these Trap Lord shirts, and you gonna send them to me on tour. And now I'm the only person on tour with merch.
Wow.
So I understood that aspect of, I know how to get money. Like, I'm not getting paid. I'm getting paid an opportunity, and
I'll make the opportunity work even more.
Exactly.
Nah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So through the journey now, we at ASAP Worldwide, the mentality of a businessman, entrepreneur, art, fashion, hustler, going towards, you're in a group, but you're still a solo entity in a group. Now fast forward, it's just Ferg. Solo albums, brand deals. As I looked at all your brand deals, first rapper to Tiffany, Adidas, I was always watching you from afar, even knowing you, but looking at you like, He's with Tiffany. Oh, he's with Adidas. He's at X Games. Like
Hennessy, Red Line.
The bikes.
I did I had so many. It was a lot.
And so when this is one of the lanes.
Timberland, all types of shit.
This is one of the lanes that a lot of artists want to cross over to, and just to help their music. In a day and age where labels look to brands to partner to offset costs, you was already doing this in a realm of, I'm the artist, they love my music. But then when I was seeing the things you was doing, it was an artistic part. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm a new Lululemon Ferg brand. I was like, no, he's designing things that's different.
Yeah.
How
and hiring my people to shoot, like,
to do all the
like I got like an early like Renell to shoot my photos, like for like my A Goldie collabs and albums and whatever campaigns. I put my little brother in it with his girl, and like I'm getting like D blocks from Harlem, like with the bikes.
With the bikes.
To be in Adidas campaigns, and like I was using my community. It wasn't just like even only the mob with the rapping, but it was like the homies, people, like the community. So it was just like, how can we make this as big as possible? That's how I was always thinking about it.
Do you feel like the same blueprint that you did from the beginning, from junior high school, is that the same format that you used all the way through with the brand deals, with the music, and like that same pathway of art and structure and like art first to maybe be able to branch out to all these things?
For sure, I'm just being me the whole time. I'm just being me. Like, I don't even really know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just doing stuff. Like, I used to walk past Tiffany's and be scared to walk in because I knew I couldn't afford nothing in there. But I used to look through the window and all that. I used to have to walk from art and design past the Tiffany store every day to get to the train. And to think that I will have a brand deal with them and also perform in there on top of the clock inside the store was crazy.
Wow.
So it's like...
Full circle moment.
Yeah, it's a full... That's one of the things, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never think I would put out an album. Like, I was a battle rapper. Like, most battle rappers don't even transition to being like...
Making records.
Like, I'm like really a battle rapper. Like, I didn't even know how to write a hook.
Wow.
I didn't know how to write a girl song. So for me to like do that was like different.
Another level.
I'm talking about just bars. Like, the way I used to rap is like, do I really look like I want to party, dog? I got the shotty 4. Any nigga that clock me and want to pop me, dog. I hang out with gangbangers like 5 or 4. They'll take your chest out for them bees like Mardi Gras. Like, I used to rap like that.
Just straight.
I mean, they call my guns Luther because the van draws. Like, I'm like that.
Smack DVD.
Yeah, like
wow.
100 bars. I'm not even thinking. Like, I'm looking at Meek Mill's, Kaboom,
Pretty Ugly, and all them dudes,
like
Freeway,
Vodka, Cassidy, J Mills,
just bars.
T-Rex, all bars, and the Locks. Like,
that was it.
The Locks, DMX. Like, it's just niggas who had bars.
Big L's and all them.
Yeah, I wasn't even on Big L at that time. It was straight up like, it was the Locks for me.
Yeah, nah. Those dudes is battle rap,
Yeah.
but like know how to make a song too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J.R. Ryder.
Ooh, he's a J.R. Ryder.
Lloyd Banks. Like, yeah, I'm just like this straight bars. Like, I don't even want to hear a hook. I don't want to hear a girl song, nothing.
So to go back now, making albums out of even ASAP, the world Ferg solo artist. One of the things, even coming out to the current time with you and your album, which is Darryl, a big part of, I was blessed to hear the music, but what took me over the top was how artistically you took that project. Just said, I'm drawing my album cover. You know what? I mean, I'm painting my album cover. Then you say, you know what? That ain't enough.
Right.
I'm gonna make a painting for every song on the album.
Yeah.
Like,
I went in.
What made, and that brings me back to seeing the screen printing. Like when I look at you in this conversation, this art has been connected to every part of your journey. Right. But for the latest part, what made that journey of art happen with the last project?
Because I never wanted to be put in a box, and that's why I think I changed my style so many times. Because like, I don't like uniform. I don't like pulling up, and that's funny we talk about uniform. But when it comes down to like my style, that's why I guess people compare me to ODB sometimes, because it's like a unfathered style, like Old Dirty Bastard. So it's just like I'm just like all over the place with it. But yeah, like I just didn't want to be put in a box, and I wanted to express myself as much as possible with all my mediums. And I just kept thinking about like my kids and just like whoever found my music like later, like what I would want them to hear, what I would want them to see, what I would want them to experience. And I always had a dream of like doing my own artwork for my album, and it was really scary for me to do that. It was really scary for me to even show my art on such a huge platform like this. People would probably think like, oh, that makes sense, do it. Like if you know how to do it, then do it. But it's like, once you win at something for so long and you have like a method and people like it, it's kind of like a test for yourself to always break yourself out of that comfort and go into those uncharted territories and those gray areas that you get those little inklings about. Like, I feel like if people follow those inklings a little bit more, it'll be like way more breakthroughs in the world.
In life.
Like, it's way more colors than like the colors that, you know, primary colors. Like, if you blend this with white, or you blend this with a little blue, or a little brown, or a little this and a little that, you get different outcomes. And that's what I always been into doing, because when I looked at Missy and Busta, why I loved them so much is because they were so left to center. And that when you're left to center, it's so easy to stand out. It's like you're not following the pack at all. It's just like, if you want to stand out and you want to make noise, then you just go left to center. And that was my understanding of it. It was just like, whenever I get into this place where I feel like, all right, people are getting used to this thing, or when it got like super hot and people started doing it or mimicking or whatever, I feel like, all right, now it's time to innovate. So this is like my innovation period. And it's just like shaking shit up, because also too, after I did everything and I had the art show and everything, I was just thinking like, that's what hip hop is anyway. Like, we came from graffiti, we came from dance, which was break dance, and then it's like people started break dancing because they needed to stop the violence that was happening in the streets, because they was gangs. So the gangs turned into like break dancing
Dance
crews.
wars.
Yeah. And all of that. So like hip hop is no different. That's literally the alchemy of this whole thing we have. So I'm like, that's the magic, and I think that's the balance that we're missing. You know, or probably not missing, but just need more of.
Need more of it.
Yeah, so I'm just like doing that. Like, well, that's the purpose I feel like now that I see, but I was just thought I was doing something cool that I was afraid to like express. And I'm happy that I did it, because now it just opened up so many different conversations and ideas. Now I want to paint, like now I want to do this and now I want to do that. Now I got to designate time for that, because museums is calling me and shit, like,
Now you gotta
and
do,
galleries is like,
now.
yeah, like now, yeah, I got to focus on a whole nother level, because now the focus is not just on music. It's like other entities and things that like grew within my artistry.
Your world has been collided for a long time, from like, you know, like we talked about the products to like Adidas, Tiffany, Redline, G-Shock, and even moments in like people, you know, that you got to other artists, you know, you're good friends with Daniel Arsham, Jeremy Scott, you know, the worlds of Virgil's, like, you know, being an artist that, because some artists, people look at it and be like, yo, I'm just call him for a verse. You know, a lot of people not gonna get a call to be like, yo, let's use him for fashion, let's use him for music, let's use him for creative. Let me just call him like what me and you do. We just call each other the creatively, you know, I call it creative sparring. But talk about like that, and like some of like like the Virgils of the worlds in Rocky, like one of the moments so that you had that was special to you?
That's so important to have the community to just spar with, because what I realize is that I'm my own creative director. Like, I never really had a creative director. Like, I hired somebody for like mad bread and didn't use them. Like I was like, damn. But I got like a vision, and it's important to surround yourself with other people that got vision and may understand things that you don't understand. Like, Virgil was very involved in that realm for me, because he was always open to like text messages, even designed a few stages that I couldn't pay for at the time. Like, I remember when I was doing like the whole Hood Pope theme, and I was gonna put Pyrex. I wanted him to put Pyrex in the back of my Hood Pope sash. And yeah, so I couldn't afford Virgil at the time because he was doing all Kanye stuff at the time. This is when I thought he was like a white old man, like before I even seen him. Like, he was just doing like all of this crazy shit. And to see that he's like this African like giant, I was like, all right, yeah, that's what's up. Like,
he's with us.
He's with us. And not only that, it gave me more energy and just more self-belief, because I, like, before I even seen a Virgil to become like the head of a house like Louis Vuitton, or, you know, create Off-White and do all of the amazing things he did, like, I thought that's what I was gonna do. And I mean, I am doing it, but like, it wasn't known before, like, to have like a heterosexual man, black man, to be in luxe like that, luxury fashion. So, and like just in all of these different rooms. So I was like, oh, he's doing it. He's doing the thing that we like. Probably is a bunch of kids that wanted to do it.
Say what he does.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, that was my dream, to be the first, and to see him and have him embrace me in that way. And like, the homie told me, what's your name? Yeah, Levi said that like Virgil was DJing at my G-Shock event when I did the collab at my dinner, and I didn't even know, I didn't even remember that. But just to like have like these pillars in my life, when I think about Laquan Smith, we went to school together, art and design. Like, he was in a grade lower than mine, and also Carlton Yato, who also is another designer and friend of mine's. And shout outs to Juan, Jay West, and Laquan. Awar Arazuku, he was also in my school, big artist. You know, these is my comrades. Awar shot me and Rocky's first video. He's the only person I knew with a camera. We paid him $300, $150 each, on my birthday in Jay West crib.
Wow.
And yeah, like, that's how it worked for me. So when it comes down to like just the creatives and stuff like that, I hang out with more designers and artists, like visual artists, than I hang out with like musicians or like artists. Yeah, like, I do. Like, it's like, if I'm in the studio, I'm calling Telfar to come through. I'm calling Raul from Luar to come through. Like, I'm calling Kirby. Kirby was super integral throughout this whole Darryl album. Like, he's sitting, because I'm just loving his storytelling throughout his clothes, and he's so unapologetically him and has a mission statement. And I'm like, how can I be that way? Because I felt like I was in this space where it's like, I had so much to say, but I just had to develop the voice for it, and he helped me develop my voice in that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
I live by a saying I always say to myself is like, I dream while I'm awake. And it seems like you do the same thing. Being a musician, an artist, a creative director, a painter, a man of many mediums, when you look at the worlds of all the arts you pull together, you know, to finish the interview, what is the art plateau you want to reach? Like, what is, when you look at yourself as this, because to me you are a 360 degree of an artist. But like, if you can put these worlds in these mediums and dream while you're alive, what is that next world of Darryl for you?
I think it's just keep dreaming. Like at the end of the day, like at this point, I'm working off ideas that I had when I was 9 years old, and just seeing those things come alive. And it's amazing to see it manifest and me being able to support my family and my friends off of it and create things that just grow and sprout into things that I never thought would happen. Like that wonder is that's what I thrive off of. It's not actually like, it's like the doing, but like it ain't like a place I want to wind up. I'm just in it, like, and I'm doing it, and I'm just watching, like, I'm just planting seeds, and then I go here across the street for 2 days, and then I come back and see little things growing in different colors, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think this would come out pink. I didn't think that it would go here or go there. So that wonder for me is like, I love this shit. Like, you just don't know what will happen. I didn't know that, like, I would get calls from like Pharrell every day, and I'll be talking to Jay-Z on the phone, or like be cool with Beanie Siegel, like, or like shit like that, like being in the studio with like Tyler the Creator. And when I thought about like just the people I've come across in my life and work with, like the places that I wound up in, and I'm like, these is the biggest artists of our generation. Like, everybody had their moment, and it is having a moment, like, you know, to work with an early Uzi Vert, you know, to work with Young Thug and tour Europe with him and make music with him, and to work with Cardi, have him on the Madman tour, and to see what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And to work with Rocky, who's like, his impact is nuts in the world, and ASAP Mob and Jada Kiss, and for my first rap to a major artist be Styles P in the hood when I'm like 14 years old. Like, and I'm listening to these niggas every day. And to wound, like, I could call Styles right now. Like when I have rappers come to my house, like Jim Jones come set his mic up and shit in my kitchen, and like we recording and shit like that, I'm like, I got Jim Jones in my house.
That's a fact.
I'm like geeking. Like, I got fucking Styles P come bring like his fucking vitamins and shit like that to the crib. I'm like, yo, Styles is in my crib. Like, this shit is crazy.
I'm still a fan. I'm
Bro, I'll be like, I know this nigga be getting hot because I bring up the same story every time. I'm like, yo, I can't believe that I rapped to you when I was 14 years old. I see you hopping out on 4th, 5th. Like, nah, bro, cause I like, and you said, do I ever stop and I wonder, like, damn. So I in those moments I do. Like, it was like I had a dream one time. Like, I used to have these bunk beds in my room when I was a kid. I don't even know why I had a bunk bed. Like, I didn't have no like siblings that lived with me. And I had a dream one time that like I had a sleepover and Corey Guns was there. And like, to see that I actually got cool with Corey Guns and like was definitely a fan of him and actually did a song with him, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this shit is like my life. So I was manifesting since a young man, like, and that's why like I really, really just try to be careful on like what I let in to like my sphere, cause you really, like, whatever you think, like, you become. Yeah, literally, like, whatever you around, you become.
And on that note, man, I'm honored that I'm sitting here with Darryl.
And Set Free.
Who's that?
Set Free, everybody.
You're Darryl, everybody. But nah, thank you, man, for telling your journey through an artistic conversation.
Yeah.
And like, I just look at you as all things art, man.
Oh man, appreciate it. Shout out to my moms for having me.
Shout out to Uncle T, all the Ferg family.
T Ferg. Shout out to all of the cowboy boots in his room.
That's a wrap. He's ready to show.